Financial gains, enjoying the finer things in life, cooking, gardening, art, music, and slow and steady progress to success are the themes to Jupiter in the sign of Taurus in the natal birth chart. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the meaning of Jupiter and Taurus if you have this in your chart. So what does it mean if Jupiter, which is the planet of luck and expansion and growth, is placed in Taurus? Well, let me just first start off by saying this is the placement that I would most want to have if I had to choose any one of the 12 Jupiter placements, because Jupiter is the great benefic. It brings blessings, it brings abundance. And in Taurus, it's all the finer things in life because Taurus is abundant. It's wealth. It's all these wonderful things. And my North Node is in Taurus, of which right now in my life, I'm very interested in cooking. And so I've developed that interest, um, very recently now. And so it's my North Node being in Taurus, which is food and enjoying the five senses, is the perfect placement for my interests right now. So right now in my life, I would not ask for a better North Node. I think I have the perfect North Node placement because Taurus is steady and stable, and Jupiter there could just, really, help me to reach my North Node. So that's why Jupiter in Taurus is the placement that I would want to have if I had to choose my Jupiter placement in my chart. So, delving into Jupiter and Taurus. Jupiter and Taurus individuals, or those who have this in their natal birth charts, those who were born with it over the 12-month span that Jupiter was in Taurus, because Jupiter takes 12 months to be in a sign, have a practical approach to attaining knowledge and wealth. They do this through working and achieving and also engaging their five senses. More in that later. They attain success with a determined approach. They're very, very steadfast, very willing to put in the work for the long haul. They're very dedicated to their work. They are willing to go the extra mile and um, and fully commit to something. They can have a lot of financial gains. They can be very, very good with money. They're good at growing their wealth and investing in it. They may be great cooks, great at utilizing their five senses. Um, taste, touch, smell, even hear, hearing things, in cooking can be, very important. And so, when you're cooking, it deals with food, and Taurus deals with taste and essential elements of life from the earth. And so, they can make a great cook. They have aesthetics for art and beauty. They're very, very into art of all forms, not just painting, but pottery, sculpture, music, all these kind of things like that, and creativity. They can really advance the food industry for the welfare of society because Jupiter deals with society, morality, the law, those kind of things like that, philosophy. And so they can really help. with the food industry in that way. They have a lot of, because they're dealing with Taurus, which is food. And so they have they can really enjoy, sensual pleasures, really enjoying the five sensory pleasures of life. Music, food, all those kind of things like that. Now, when they know what their values are, and when they have a very, very strong sense of self-worth in themselves, they know what matters to them. They know it's important to them. Then they will gain abundance and wealth and good fortune and receive all the blessings that Jupiter has to give them when they tap into this energy of ownership of values. They're very patient, willing to go for things for the long haul, knowing that things take time. Um, they're willing to be very, very patient for, for things to happen in a certain way. They're very steadfast. They're very determined. They can have artistic talents for painting, cooking, music, or other things along those lines. They're all about achieving your dreams, but also enjoying the world around you. Um, so achieving those dreams and um and really enjoying the results of that hard work and that achieving of the dream, enjoying the results of that. Enjoying the material results from it. Like you make a dish, you enjoy that dish. You make enough money that way you can spend it on what you want. You build a house, you can enjoy the house. Like like these kind of things. Enjoying the results of what you have put in the work to achieve. And they know the value of hard work and they will completely immerse themselves in the satisfaction of the result and, and feeling good about the result for their hard work. That it's, worth it when they put in, the work to achieve that thing. Um, so they have a talent for using money and material resources. That's something very, very important to note about them. They're very, very good at this kind of thing. They can be very charitable. They can also be very generous, giving to others, helping others. Don't become too immersed in materialism and making enough money and the material things in life. Don't become too caught into that. Remember the simple pleasures. Don't get too caught up in, the nice house, the nice shoes, all the material things in this material world, but enjoying the simple, sensual pleasures that Taurus has to give. And when they remember that, then they can gain more blessings from Jupiter when they don't fall on the negative side of materialism, which could be more of also a south node in Taurus tendency is accumulating and hoarding things, and getting so caught up in all these material possessions that it's never enough and it's never fulfilling. And there is this need for this greed that can come about with Jupiter and Taurus, that I don't have enough, I constantly want more. And when they can surrender that and detach from that need to want more and just have gratitude and joy, what they have and enjoy those more simpler aspects of life, then, then they will go farther in life. So resources can be seen as psychoproductive development from which everyone can benefit from those resources. This can be about disregarding the spiritual that has nothing to do with the material or the practical. This could be a tendency for Jupiter and Taurus disregarding anything non-material. There's a strong tendency here to attract wealth and an innate knowing that things have a certain value to them. Um, that everything has a value, everything has an importance, such as a price, number one, and how it can be used, how it can be utilized, etc. And how, great of a quality it is. If the clothing was made from a certain fabric that, was very, very good quality. If that dish was made from certain ingredients that were very fresh and organic with good quality ingredients. So these things have value and they know, um, those values. Um, Finances are very, very important to you, as I discussed before, I believe. This is about enjoying the good things that life has to offer, engaging your five senses. You're going to be very, very good with money, looking for ways to invest and grow your wealth, as I said. You're very patient. You should be careful about not overindulging. Yes, engage your five senses, enjoy all the pleasures of life, but don't overdo it. And Jupiter can be, expanding. It can be the gas giant. It can be too much even, overdoing it. And this can be, overindulging in food and all these kind of, material pleasures of life, buying things, for example, overspending, that kind of thing. Um, this can be very calming and constraining of an influence to have. This is about enjoying material comfort, tasty food, art, music, and the good things in life. You have business skills, you can be great in business. Um, Now, you may run into some problems when it comes to your finances if you're not careful. Um, when it comes to spending money, be careful that you're not spending on impulse, that you're not overspending. This can bring about a lot of y- a lot of overconfidence and greediness also. Yes, is another downside. And there can be this extreme satisfaction when you buy or earn something that fulfills the material desires. This very, very strong feeling of satisfaction. This is not necessarily a negative. This can be a positive, but it is a negative when it negatively impacts others. I'll get to that later. Actually, I'll get to that right now. That one of the downsides of Jupiter and Taurus is you're so wrapped up in yourself, your material needs, your material possessions, what you have gained, what you have worked hard for, the things that you have, the resources that you have, that you completely ignore others, their situation, what they have, um, their values. their priorities, what they have achieved. You can bask and enjoy all the things that you have and what you have achieved that you make others who don't have as much as you have feel very bad about themselves, like they're lacking, they don't have enough, that they're not good enough, and bringing them down to a low sense of self-worth and their own self-value can be depleted, and you don't want that. As somebody who believes in strong value and self-worth, you wouldn't want to deplete somebody else's self-worth and value because their self-worth and value is just as important as yours. And so you can make others feel very envious of you for what you have and what they don't have to enjoy in their life. Some may have their mind on influence and business with displacement. That's what you may have your mind focused upon is those kind of things. There can be the superiority for attaining wealth that may not be good for for your lives and the lives of those around you. Or attaining wealth can be overdoing, or the material getting too caught up in that can lead to your downfall. So when you have a concrete goal in mind, when you have a goal that you want to achieve, you'll stay the course until it is achieved. Course is a fixed sign. Fixed signs are fixed. They're kind of immovable. They stay in one place. Um, they're very committed to a certain thing. They will change, but only in little increments, only in small increments will they change, as opposed to some signs of change on a dime, like Gemini, for instance. Um, or Pisces even. But Taurus changes when there's a really, really good reason to change, and when they do, it's very, slow progress towards change. Taurus is about, the familiarity of things. Like I'm so accustomed to the certain routine or the certain um stability or the certain way of living or the certain dish that I like to eat or whatever the detail is, that it's very, very difficult for you to change because you're so wanting to enjoy the comfort and do that thing and enjoy that thing over and over again because it feels so good and it is so good. Where change can be difficult, but you do it slowly. Um, your actions can turn into habits. You do them over and over again, they become ingrained to you. You act and you don't just change, you act and do one thing and you do another thing, or you do something over and over again until it becomes a habit because that's how you are. You like to do the same things over and over again. You are committed. You are willing to go through the slow process towards success. You're stubborn, but you're confident. You believe very, very strongly in yourself. That's a good quality of fixed signs. Um, Not because you're unwilling to change. You create um this placement thrives in stillness, the stillness of the moment. Course is about being in the present moment, enjoying the simple pleasures, essential pleasures in the present moment. It thrives at peace, comfort, and stillness and tranquility. Interested in things having a form to them, in this material world, you're willing to go in a direction when you're absolutely sure of something. When you're sure that this is the right decision, you don't just act on impulse. You decide something and you do something when, you've thought it out, when it feels right, when it is right on a practical level. Um, you express yourself. When it's worth it for you, you do it. If it's not worth it, you don't do it. You express yourself through repetition and practice. You do things over and over again until it becomes a practice. You're good and you have a talent at something if you have this placement. That's certainly you have a talent for something if you have this placement. But are you willing to be committed to that talent to get good at it and make it the best that it can be? So you practice and practice at something until you achieve excellence. So that is all I have to say on Jupiter and Taurus in the natal birth chart. Thank you for tuning into this video. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with anyone who would also like this information as well. That was redundant. You don't usually include also in as well in a sentence, so I do apologize for that. But so, anyway, um, bye for now. I'll see you in the next video, which will be on Jupiter and Gemini, which is, very much about intellectually, learning things and being curious and being very, book smart and book savvy. More on that in that video when I get to it. So bye for now.